Welcome back to the channel, y'all. If you've never been here before, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Click the bell next to the subscribe button so you're notified every time a new video goes up on SouFLoTV or every time we do a immigration video or a U.S. immigration update, because we are staying close to the U.S. immigration updates as fees change, as the law changes, as all the new rules and regulations are implemented. You can come right here for a extended discussion on each one, or at least to be confirmed that it is real. So hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell next to the subscribe button. All right, fam. Without further ado, let's get right into the material. So ICE has arrested another illegal alien that was actually sworn in as a suburban Chicago police officer in Spritzkers, Illinois. The crazy thing about this is when I first saw the headline of the story, I said, oh my gosh, another black person or another person of color, because of the situation that happened recently in Maine, where the Jamaican got into the United States of America many years ago, and for some reason he ended up all the way in Maine working as a police officer. I mean, he went through all the training, his background checked out. It was said that Homeland Security did a background check and they did not do it properly. They are sharing blame with the police department who hired him, because they're saying, we did our background check, you're the ones who hired the illegal alien. Either way, he's in custody and he has volunteered to deport back to his country of Jamaica. Now, here comes another one. And the funny thing is, this one is a Caucasian. So, before I even get into the material of this story, let me just say this. It's crazy how you look around you and you see only people of color being attacked and dragged by ICE officers, when you are not seeing Caucasian communities or Caucasian people being dragged by ICE officers or being deported by ICE officers. The thing is, there are a lot of Caucasians in the United States of America from different countries who are here illegally, but they are not being attacked in the same manner. Now, that's a whole different topic for a whole different discussion on a whole different day. Let's get right into this one. Radul Bojovic. That's his name. Radul Bojovic. They're saying that he overstayed a tourist visa about a decade ago. And I don't know if it's his white privilege or white skin. He was approved for even police pension in January of 2025. Police pension. So, this is how it goes. An Illinois police officer who is living in the United States of America illegally has been arrested by immigration authorities. The Department of Homeland Security has announced that. Radul Bojovic kind of tells me he is probably somewhere from Russia or one of those Slavic nations. He's an illegal immigrant from Montenegro who was working as a sworn police officer with the Hanover Park Police Department. He was taken into custody during Operation Midway Blitz, which targets illegal immigrants who are living in Illinois because of the state's sanctuary policies, federal officials said. Could you imagine working as a police officer? You're fully uniformed, you're on the beat, and you're doing your thing, making your rounds, and they come running after you. Now, according to Fox News, they reached out to the police department and to the Office of Illinois Government. J.B. Pritzker, a frequent critic of President Trump and his immigration policies. Pritzker doesn't just allow violent, illegal aliens to terrorize Illinois community. He allows illegal aliens to work as sworn police officers, is what Assistant Homeland Secretary Tricia McLaughlin said. Now, you know everything is political. One slips under the radar and suddenly it is the governor's fault. We all know how the system is set up and we all know the chain of command and how things work. A governor does not know when a police officer is being hired at a certain precinct. But it sounds good on paper politically. So, back to the illegal alien, Radul Bojovic. They said that he violated our nation's laws and he was living illegally in the United States of America for 10 years. What kind of police department gives criminal illegal aliens badges and guns? You know what? This is the second one they found so far. And they've also found a guy from Africa that was working he was working in the prison system at a pretty high ranking as well. I'm willing to bet that there are way more out there. She said that it's a felony for an alien to possess a firearm. A law enforcement officer who is actively breaking the law. It's crazy. Under President Trump and Secretary Noem, ICE is restoring law and order, she said. Criminal illegal aliens have no place in our communities, especially on our police forces. Of course, some people are saying, hell, he lived here for 10 years, never broke a law, never got in trouble for a whole decade, and he was serving as a police officer, which is a public servant, and he was protecting and serving, and he should be allowed to stay. I've seen some of the comments. It's funny when it's somebody who is Caucasian. He should be allowed to stay. He was doing good. He wasn't breaking any laws. All he wants to do is have a better life and provide for his family. That's the chain of where you see the comments going. When it's somebody of color, oh, these nasty, disgraceful, illegal aliens. That's right, President Trump. Get their asses out of our country. Nobody says he was in an honorable job. He was working as a police officer. He had been here for a while. He broke no laws except for immigration laws. He wasn't a criminal. He was actually protecting and serving XYZ. No, they don't get the same honor. I'll just point that out as I keep going. So, on August 22nd, a Facebook post by police department showed that Bojovic being congratulated for graduating from the Suburban Law Enforcement Academy, or SLEA it's called. He's since been replaced on administrative leave pending an investigation. They didn't fire him. They didn't let him go immediately. He has been placed on administrative leave pending an investigation. The Jamaican dude, when they got him, they took him straight into custody. The superintendent of the school district in Iowa from Guyana, when they got him, they ran him down the street. They got the dogs out because he ran into the bushes. They took him straight into custody. This guy is placed on administrative leave pending an investigation. I'm just pointing out the difference in treatment. And remember, I said earlier, you don't see Caucasian people being dragged by ICE officers. You don't see them being deported. You don't see them being rounded up. You don't see them being attacked in communities where there are predominantly white people living in those communities. Just to point it out, hey, listen, I have no dog in this fight whatsoever. I voted. I did not get what I voted for. Now I watch everybody else get what they voted for. That's it. So he now begins an intensive 15 weeks of field training and evaluation as he continues preparing to serve the Hanover Park community. Did y'all hear that? He was placed on his administrative leave pending an investigation, and he now begins an intensive 15 weeks of field training and evaluation as he continues to prepare to serve the Hanover Park community. It's crazy because he is given all kinds of grace. It's like, let's put him on administrative leave and look to see if we probably made a mistake. Oh my, we would hate to actually haul and pull this man and take him from his job position and have him in custody only to find out that the mistake was ours. God forbid. So place him on administrative leave and have him continue with his training while we try to figure out where things went wrong. Mind you, they already released to the public that he overstayed a visa by 10 years already. So what else is there to investigate? Now, in a news release, the village of Hanover said that Bojovic was hired in January of 2025 and that the city confirmed that he was legally authorized by the federal government to work in the United States of America. He presented the city with a work authorization card, which was issued by the federal government, U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, or USCIS, it says. Hold on. We're about to tell you about USCIS because they just got their powers increased by tenfolds. So the bottom line is that all information we received from the federal government, they said, everybody always switch the blames, right? Don't blame us. We checked with the federal government. The federal government said they were good to go. The bottom line is that all the information we received from the federal government indicated that Officer Bojovic is legally authorized to work in the United States of America as a police officer. That's what the village said. Clearly, without that authorization, the village would not have hired him. Additionally, the village has not received any notice, listen to this part, has not received any notice from any federal or state agency that his authorization status has been revoked. Therefore, we're keeping him right where he's at. In addition, this is crazy. In addition, the U.S. Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, or ATF, they determined in January that Bojovic's immigration status allows him to carry a firearm while he was on duty. If he is permitted to remain in the United States of America, oh my gosh, if he is permitted to remain in the United States of America and remains legally authorized to work in this country, he will be returned to his full duty status. They are pretty much standing behind him, keeping him there. ICE is even leaving him there, not taking him into custody. Let's figure this out. The card was valid, and recently it was renewed, it said, and a full background check was done, including his criminal history, with both the Illinois State Police and the FBI was conducted, they said. Federal authorities said that Bojovic was in the U.S. on a tourist visa that required him to leave the United States of America March 31st of 2015. That is when he was supposed to leave. You came in on a tourist visa, it had a return date, and it ended March 31st of 2015. That was over a decade ago. And he was still illegally in the U.S. after that expired. He just came as a visitor and just never left. So, as an officer, Bojovic was approved by the Pension Fraud Board of Trustees in January of 2025 and is eligible to receive a starting salary of $78,955.70, according to Department of Homeland Security. Wow! Additional police records indicate that his 2025 earnings were $205,707, including a $9,276 for FICA, Medicare taxes, federal authorities have said. The Trump administration launched, this is crazy. He was earning over $200,000 a year. The Trump administration launched Operation Midway Blitz in honor of Katie Abraham, who was killed in a drunk driving hit-and-run crash caused by criminal illegal alien Julio Cuculbo in Illinois. Now, Pritzker recently sued the Trump administration to block National Guard actions in Illinois and has feuded with Donald Trump over his threat to deploy U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement officers, or ICE agents, into Chicago. Y'all seen what's going on in Chicago. The people in Chicago don't want ICE in their city. ICE is up in their city anyways, right? Because Trump is going to do what he wants to do regardless. And then the mayors and whoever else is running the city, if they're with it, they're with it. And if they're not, they're not. President Trump says he wants to go to war with Chicago, use it and our people as a training ground. And he is sending military troops against the wishes of its people in order to punish his political opponent. I'm going to repeat that for y'all again. There's so many things happening in this video right here. President Trump says he wants to go to war with Chicago and use it and our people as a training ground. And he is sending military troops against the wishes of its people in order to punish his political opponents. That's what Pritzker said on Thursday. No person could be faulted for believing that the U.S. military is already patrolling our streets. It feels that way already. Masked federal agents from ICE and CBP, which is U.S. Customs and Border Protection, they are already on the ground in Chicago. According to their mayor, they're terrorizing our communities with tear gas and rubber bullets. And some of them are wearing camouflage uniforms that could easily be mistaken for the military. So it's all types of stuff happening right now. Let me point this out before I end this video. Notice how the treatment is different. This officer, they give him all the benefit of the doubt. It is clear to them, as they have published from USCIS, that he came into the country and he was supposed to leave since 2015, and he just never left. He has stayed here. However, when they catch him working as a police officer, they don't take him into custody. They don't say, hey, we got another illegal, go straight to lockup. What they do instead is they put him on administrative leave. He is still getting paid, by the way. His starter pay, according to paperwork, was almost $80,000 a year. Records show that last year alone he earned, the records indicate that his 2025 earning, which is this year, was over $200,000. It was actually $205,707. I'm just going to leave that one right there for y'all. We will stay close to this story to see how this develops. Maybe they will allow him to stay because he is the type they want to stay. Read between the lines. I'll catch y'all on the next video. Stay tuned for our next immigration update video, which should be about USCIS and the increased power that they have been given. Hit that subscribe button. I'm out. Peace.